Most rappers wouldn't be where they are today without the success of mixtapes. That hustle, that grind, that do-it-yourself mentality that the mixtape game represents. That's the true spirit of hip-hop.
My mixtape.
Mixtapes are important, man.
Mixtape is the rawest way of getting your music out.
Christian Orange is my most popular mixtape.
While it would take hours to showcase every DJ worthy of a mention, the mixtape DJs that we're about to focus on left an indelible influence on the culture and pushed hip-hop forward. But if you go back in time and just do your homework, you'll find out that mixtapes started with the DJ. That's a fact. But for some reason, everybody don't give it up to them the way that they should. Man, you can ask anyone who's anyone in hip-hop and they will tell you how important mixtapes were in their early career. It's a vital form of promotion, a necessity for staying hot in the streets.
You know, I made Section 80. It was a time where I really started traveling heavy, getting to see the world, getting to see different people, you know, and talking and communicating. That's how I came across the Section 80.
Hey, TKO, hands up, hands! I wrote this record with 30,000 feet in. Doing this complimenting me on. If I can fucking refer no quality, they probably think I'm a terrorist. Eat my asparagus, then I'm
talking about a wide generation of people, you know, displaying their ills and their positives.
I was never afraid of being labeled a mixtape rapper because, you know, times are really changing, I feel like. Mixtape is the rawest way of getting your music out, you know what I'm saying? It's the rawest form of connecting with the people you love, the streets, it's putting the shit out for free. So, you know, you see people like Wiz Khalifa, you see people like J. Cole, you see people like me, you know, the list goes on and on. Mixtapes are a way of connecting with people, and some they work better for other people.
Mixtapes are important, man. It's funny because before I put out my first one, I was like 5 years ago, I was like, man, I'm never gonna put out a mixtape because I came to New York and everybody had a mixtape. My barber had a mixtape. But looking back, man, it was beautiful. It's like you gotta put out this free music to the people because if it's good, it's gonna reach them. It's gonna reach these people in some way, shape, or form. The mixtape is almost like you telling these people, I'm worthy enough for you to be my fan and my consumer. And then when you put out your real music, hopefully they go support it. But you gotta put out something. Like, it's too much music for you not to put out free music. There's too many people rapping, there's too many people doing music. So you gotta give them something and let them know. So the mixtape's been, you know, crucial.
Christian Orange was my most popular, well, still is my most popular mixtape or project in general. That's what people know me for and identify me by.
My buzz in Atlanta was already at the maximum potential where they was looking for me to come up with that one record, and the whole Atlanta, the whole South was gonna support it because I had already dropped like 3 mixtapes prior to making rap.
And I had this dream about, you know, making this mixtape, you know, like an album, and just trying to build my awareness.
You can do things on mixtapes that you can't do with an album. Like you can take somebody else's song, do your own version to it. You know, and you don't really gotta do no sample clearance because you're not selling it. You can have fun with it and experiment and do your thing.
It was a marketing and promotions too, on the ground level. Like, the more genius you were in getting your mixtape in the right place, and as long as you were hot, if you're hot, then it's like dropping a seed into some soil that has hyper growth in it on the ground level.
SS digital dash, bucket seats, pipes hanging off the truck, going gorilla, the whole box frame rattling glass, 5 MPH down the Ave door, swinging eyes hanging off the paint job.
The mixtape game, it's definitely a good thing for us indie artists. Being heard is a way to kind of grow that brand and get people familiar with who you are.
The mixtape was important to me because it led to me producing.
It's showtime!
You had Doo-Wop, Ron G, 1200 Assassins. You know, all these guys being very creative with their intros. And so I started creating intros. The mixtape was kind of my graduation into producing, kind of by default.
So how did the idea of mixtapes come to fruition? Well, before mixtapes became the artist's form of self-promotion in between album release, they were a means for DJs to show off their skills and build their fan bases and make a lot of money in the process.
What made me start doing it was Brucey B. He was probably one of the most popular guys doing the rooftop and all those different, popular clubs.
I'm from Harlem, so Brucey B and Star Child were my mixtape heroes.
I was amazed by the DJ having his own personality. You know what I mean? Like being able to stand on his own too without the rapper in front of him.
Being a fan of music, being a fan of DJs that know how to rock parties, talk on the mic at the same time.
Having a Brucey B mixtape in your car when you was in Harlem was a serious thing.
Considered by many to be the mixtape pioneer, the world famous Brucey B got his start rocking hip hop parties in the late 70s and early 80s. Back in his day, Brucey B was the man.
Basically the mixtape started as the live tapes from the parties those weekends, and all the hustlers and get money guys and bad chicks from the neighborhood, everybody, one day there's shout outs from, the guys like Brucey B.
When I first did mixtape, there was actually live rooftop tapes. The rooftop is a roller skating ring in Harlem. That was like the biggest thing in Harlem. Me playing live, me in Hollywood, Chief Rocky, Star Child, Lubbock, Starsky. People ask me, well, B, I need a tape with my name on it. That's where I started doing mixtape. But the first mixtape I did was for my man Alpo. And it was a 90-minute tape, and it was one record. Yeah, it was one record through the whole tape. Beasley Boy, Hold It Now. And I got like 500 for that. After I did that for Alpo, then other guys wanted like, yo, B, I need this with James Brown. I need this, so that's how I started doing mixtapes.
I think the demand was so high for Brucey B's tapes because his voice, the shout out, the records he was playing, and the feeling. It felt like you were in the club in your car.
You got played like a symphony.
Like with the live rooftop tapes, I would make one on a Friday, right? But that one you got the one you got Friday, you would get from last week. Then when I would actually record, and you would get next week, because back then, I had to, it wasn't like fast. I had to use the double CDs, so it took me all week to do 25 tapes. I was charging $20, but for a personal tape, it was $100. The guys in the streets just gave me $400, $500. The street guys was my best customers.
Bruce's mixtapes were special.
I feel like a lot of guys are millionaires because of Brucey B. Not angry, not bitter. That's what it is.
Hey, look. Right about now, we're gonna get into the old school beat of things, you know what I'm saying? With the light-skinned brother DJ, Kid as we proceed to do it like
Following the path that Brucey B laid, Kid Capri became the mixtape genre's king. Also famous for his legendary parties, Capri's tapes rocked until the tape popped. Kid Capri's cleverly themed tapes became essential for hip-hop lovers. People were paying top dollar just to get their own custom-made tape.
Kid took what Bruce was doing in the club, went home and did it in his house. So that meant the production level and the preparedness is totally different.
You would remember where you was when you heard a certain record because of the DJ. Kid Capri played it, he said this, and this.
The greatest show DJ of all time. I seen him DJ. He's scratching. And he goes around, turns around to pick a record out, and the record's skipping. This was pre-Serato. Record skipping. So he turned around. Normally a DJ like, oh shit, I gotta change the record. He grabs the needle and just starts over the scratch. And I was like, oh my God. That's genius. I never seen nobody do that ever in life. The first time I was introduced to hip hop was when I seen one of our dudes that we grew up with. He was playing dice and throwing the dice against the wall, saying yes, yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all, throwing the dice against the wall. And I'm looking at him and saying, what the hell is he talking about? In the projects, Marble Hill Project, all these kids, and they had the echo chamber with the mic, and they were going, yes, yes, y'all, y'all, to the beat, y'all, freak, freak, y'all. I was standing there like, wow. Ran home and told my mom I wanted to be a DJ. She was like, what you talking about? I said, I want some turntables, I want to, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have a lot of money at the time, so she bought me a mixer that had no headphone hole, had no power plug to it. I had to guess all the spots on the records. And that's how I got better than everybody in the neighborhood, because everybody had their headphones and I'm guessing where I'm going at. And the bigger dudes was looking at me saying, yo, this little kid is nasty with no headphones. First mixtape that probably caught my attention was Kid Capri mixtapes. At the time, you know, young kid growing up in the Bronx. Always heard him, heard his voice. So to me, the mixtape literally came to life.
Kid Capri was like revolutionary, man. Like, he helped build, you know what I mean, hip hop, man.
If anybody sit there and say, I didn't listen to Capri, you're a damn liar.
Well, my first tapes were early on. Those was when I first started. Those were the tapes that we would just cut and break beats and stuff like that. Because at that time, it wasn't about playing no music. It was about cutting break beats in the MC rhyme. So you have 7, 8 DJs and maybe a couple of MCs, and the DJ was the real important one, and you'd be choosing each other on what records you gonna cut. At that time, it wasn't no mixtape the way I brought them out in 88, 89, and how it grew from what I was doing. It was a whole different way of making them. And when I came out with the ones I started doing, when I started getting known, you know, that's when the whole game changed. You felt like when you put my joint in your car, you felt like you was there when I made it. So it just became a whole different type of situation with it. And once I seen the stardom I was getting from it, I knew that this could be something good, something special. It took me to get to the Michael Jordan of it, and then I left it and took my career a different way.
Top mixtape, 52 Beats, Kid Capri. That's what made me fall in love with beats, and that's what made me fall in love with break beats.
52 Beats was for me. It wasn't for the streets. I made it to make a breakbeat tape just for me to listen to. And when I came out with the mixtapes, I seen how big it was getting. I said, let me go back to the old tapes I made that nobody will probably ever hear if I don't put them out, and just throw them out and see what happened. I made 52 Beats in like 88. And I remember the tape I made it on was S something K, real transparent tape. And I made it on there, and one day I just copied them up, threw them out there, and the tape blew up. It was like one of my #1 tapes. Sat there with 6 tape decks and copied them all night. Get one tape, go to Trader Horn, buy 100 tapes, sit there, copy them all, and the next day I was sitting on 145th Street and 8th Avenue, or sitting in front of Rucker while they playing, and just sold the tapes. And then I had a little case that said Kid Capri, $20 tapes. People would walk up, why would I give you $20 for a tape? Who are you? I don't know you. Why would I give you $20 for a tape? A tape, really? I say, take my tape, put it in your car, listen to the beginning of it. I guarantee you're gonna come back and buy everything I got. And that's exactly what happened. They'll go in the car, play it, come back, buy everything. Next thing you know, my $20 tapes, they would buy the tape for $20 and give me a $100 tip. Or then somebody like Alpo or AZ or Rich Porter will come through and buy a tape for me for $1,000. Or the tape that I'm recording at that time that they don't want nobody else to have, they can get it from me right there, they'll pay top dollar for. So it got like that, and the next thing you know, they just grew and got bigger and bigger. So
you took it to that level for mixtape DJs till now to be feeding their families and be their own boss. And Kid Capri is the reason for that.
Where back then a DJ was getting probably $500 to do a party, Kid Capri was getting $5,000. That was insane and unheard of. You know what I mean? So that's what again I mean by next level.
He was an artist himself. Then he had other artists. So Diamond D was Showbiz, AG, all of them.
He was the first DJ making mixtapes to get a record deal. And that's because he could rap. And he was also making music, so he was a producing, rapping DJ. He deserved a record deal.
The Apollo place where performers perform. Before you got on the stage, you will all be wrong about if you're good enough to rock the place. But if it was a day with no big cans in your face, well, it was an amateur night. A group dressed in white didn't think it was spectacular, but they were alright. Kept saying to myself, I wish it was me.
First of all, DJ was always looked at as somebody that just played records. I didn't want to be looked at like that. I wanted to be looked at as an artist. So I made my tapes as special as I could make them without knowing I was making them special. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just something that I did, but it resonated with the people. And what happened was, when it blew up the way it did, I had got my first record deal because I got hot in the street with Warner Brothers. And I was in the publicity room, and Lady Starlight showed me 4 magazines that said Kid Capri, the only DJ in the world to ever make millions of dollars off of selling street mixtapes. So when I seen that, I said, I gotta get out of it. I can't do this no more, because I already knew that what I was doing it for a good purpose, but I also knew that it was against the law. It was mixtapes. So I said, I'm just gonna get out of it and take my career a different way. Fortunately enough, my first tour came about, and then Def Comedy Jam.
Give it up for my man, Kid Capri.
Def Comedy Jam, like on HBO, like this is next level, stuff that guys before him couldn't imagine or fathom, you know what I mean? Kid Capri being a part of Def Comedy Jam was one of the most revolutionary things for his career and hip hop, period. Between every segment of Martin Lawrence or whoever walking on and off that stage, music was needed.
Def Comedy Jam is because of hip hop. It was great for DJing, but it's almost like Kid Capri was better for Def Jam than Def Jam was for Kid Capri.
I wouldn't change the way I did it. The way I did it was perfect, and I did it for a short span. I left as the Michael Jordan. I didn't fall off from it and then move. I left, at a high place.
Yes, the DJ, this is the youngest DJ in charge. I'm here with my man Rocky Will on the hard pack, and with my man DJ Kid Capri, and my man Fab Five Freddy. Now this how we do things uptown.
The ad-lib king.
The Ron G. It was like, it's a personality.
Yes, indeed, it's the youngest in charge.
Another DJ who's credited as one of the hottest mixtape DJs to ever do it was Harlem-bred Ron G. In the early 80s, the youngest in charge was a master of the blend, consistently dropping a new tape to keep up with the demand.
Ron, to me, is like a perfect blend of Brucey B and Kid Capri.
We used to go to school together. We used to go to George Washington. He used to have a jacket, the Gucci, red and white Gucci jacket that said Ronnie G on it. When I found out that was Ron G, I was kind of happy because it was a guy I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? To say that I grew up with him, it made me more happy he was from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? We both Harlem guys, but it's a competitive sport. And we all being competitive.
By the way, whenever you make a tape, I do be looking out the window saying niggas going, oh, my man's nice. Now, this how we start off. Yes, indeed, this is the youngest DJ in charge, Ron G. Living off of Uptown 155.
93, the mixtape game was crazy in a good way, because everybody had their own niche, if you want to call it lane. You had Ron G. If you wanted blends, you get a Ron G tape. There was no track list. There was just a title and his name. But you know what you're getting with Ron G. You know what I mean? You're getting a dope blend tape.
Now, I'm going to get my little mic 1 second, and we're going to show you how we do the tape thing.
He was putting work into it. He was doing the blends. He was doing other things that changed his mixtape from everybody else's mixtape. So you wanted to go hear what he might have on it.
He has an acapella record playing right here, Jody Watley.
An acapella Jody Watley over
He
here.
had this just playing, now he's cutting a different record over here.
What is this?
Under this. That was that OG, this right here, Cypress Hill.
So that's under an instrumental beat, so he's basically doing a remix.
Right, basically of 2 records.
Ron G's whole style pretty much birthed a lot of Diddy and what Bad Boy was doing with R&B and hip hop music.
He basically started Mary J. Blige's career, you know what I'm saying? Because he used to sing on all his tapes, so.
Alright, well first I'm gonna get to y'all on the producer tip and show y'all how I make beats and show y'all where my mind be at when I be here struggling hard trying to make up fat beats.
Building off his blends, Ron G became one of the first mixtape DJs to transition into music production.
Being a DJ, if you work a lot and you're playing a lot of records and you're hearing a lot of records, at some point you should want to make the music. So that's why the progression for most DJs goes from DJ to producer. You should want to make what you're hearing.
Once Capri left the game in 92, he kind of opened up the door. And I was Kobe. Once Jordan left, he gave me the eye to just do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And I did it. And I just separated myself by playing new stuff.
The mixtape hustle turned into a full-fledged business in the early 90s. And some of the game's earliest stars began to capitalize. Harlem's own S&S and his partner Craig G strategically specialized in certain genres, catering to niche markets in hip-hop.
I first got into the mixtape game about 93. I was under Ron, I was under Doo-Wop. They were the guys at the time. Those were the names that people was going to buy. I was just new at it. So I had to get myself known in my own city. We was all getting records for the same place, same labels.
My first mixtape was done in 1994, was a reggae joint. Me and SNS playing together. S was known for the rock and the hip hop, but I was known for doing the R&B and doing the reggae.
That's when Showbiz League G, the whole DITC was strong on the streets. So I started playing a lot of conversion, a lot of backpack rap. We call backpack now, was with hip hop at the time, mixing with the mainstream hip hop.
Like real talk, what me and SNS did was, S would make a hip hop, I would make a slow jam. S would do this, S would do an R&B, I would do a reggae, just so we won't bump heads. Because we recorded out of my crib and we recorded out of the same place. So, he would do one way, I would go another way. And it worked out,
Yeah, this is a red alert. Doo-Wop going to work with the text. Master the motherfucking funk like Flex.
While Ron G reigned in the streets of Harlem, Doo-Wop held the title in the Bronx. As the mixtape game started to get extremely competitive, DJs learned how to dominate in their own respective hood, using their local popularity to propel them to bigger opportunities.
Doo-Wop came along and changed the game.
DJ Doo-Wop, one of the greatest DJs of all time.
Doo-Wop had it going. He had the Bounce Squad.
Doo-Wop rhyming on the tape.
Capri was the first to rhyme in his own mixtapes. But Doo-Wop and his Bounce Squad, he made people pay attention to his movement.
Back then, everybody had an intro. You would make an intro for a mixtape. Doo-Wop said, I'm not gonna make an intro, I'm gonna make an intro and I'm gonna rap on it.
For real, I'm not acting black. Recipes to action back. It's showtime, my niggas pack gas.
My first mixtape was probably the end, like 89, 90. Kid Capri was already popping. The first title was probably a date because that's all we did back then as far as when we titled the tapes. The name started coming later on, like around 93, and we know that I actually kind of started that too because I started like naming my tapes like the season, like spring part 1 and 94, summer 96. 93, the mixtape game was crazy because it was crazy in a good way because it was everybody had their own lane. If you wanted blends, you get a Ron G tape. SNS and Craig G, you would get all the new stuff, exclusives that nobody heard yet. With mine, I separated myself from everybody. I started rhyming on my tapes, so I was like one of the only DJs that would rhyme. And then I also formed a crew called the Bounce Squad. Everybody would always look forward to those intros that we did because we would just do real creative, conceptual intros, rhyming intros, and it was something to look forward to every time we drop a tape. That was my way of separating myself from everybody else.
It's a jack. Break yourself. Look, rock him, but tell your folks that I'm no joke. I don't smoke coke, cooked up. Just got shows booked up. Soon in the squad hooked up.
I've been to work, Troy, get into the groove. This coming to you fast, but it's going down smooth. I cash shots, get sexy, so crack a bet. Cause I'm a king like Steve.
Here I come, here I come. Got the Baileys in my pocket and 40 a bear. Crack it, touch it, can't smack it, flip it, rub it. Oh, how you love it, unique it.
He branded his guys, his team, as rappers. They had to be known rappers.
Presenting boogie down to the fullest. Fuck all the bullshit. In 9-5, I'm coming with the full clip. Automatic, static, with the Buddha addict. Could be type track.
Doo-Wop Live 95 was that tape that really made me say, yo, I'm gonna do this.
495 Live, there was never any guest rappers, known rappers rhyming on mixtapes. Right now, that's normal. Back then, it wasn't even heard of. Because it was like, how is a regular local DJ gonna get a Busta Rhymes or a Fat Joe or somebody? I took the chance to do it. And what happened was one day, I'm gonna tell you how it came about if I can. Fat Man Scoop used to work for Tommy Boy Records as the marketing guy or whatever, right? His everyday thing was calling the DJs to make sure they got the records. One day he called me on one of those daily calls just to say what's up and yo, you got the New Jersey Drive soundtrack and yeah, I got it, cool. And right when he was about to hang up, he said, oh, Busta Rhymes is here. He said to tell you what's up. Mind you, I never met Busta Rhymes before that. I didn't even know these guys even knew about me. I thought we were more like uptown celebrities, you know, some ghetto celebrities. I said, Busta, he gets on the phone and says, yo, anything you ever need, dude, I love you, I love your mixtapes, I love the Bounce Squad, blah, blah, blah. Sparked an idea as soon as I hung up with him.
let me see if this dude wanna, you know what I mean, get on the tape. He said, yeah, he gave me Raekwon's number. Raekwon gave me this dude's number. And then Fat Joe came and it became this big like event almost. We were in the studio with Q-Tip, Fat Joe, MOP, Busta Rhymes, you know, Guru at the same time, making a mixtape. Like, that was unheard of back then. Now it's cool because it's like, oh, everybody wants to make a mixtape. So that's, my contribution was opening that door between the major artists and the DJ.
I remember just being everywhere in Philly, just to have 50 MCs from everywhere on that tape was huge. Like Busta Rhymes, Redman, and this is things we wanted to hear from these dudes that were becoming those superstars. Like Busta's a superstar, but he actually did a freestyle. Whoa, when I first met Drop, like, you know how you meet somebody, you just be jabbing like, what's your favorite mixtape? You're like, Doo Wop 995, like, yeah, that shit was hard. That's everybody's favorite tape.
No doubt, time to mellow out. Party at the Yellow House, sell it out. Invites only, don't tell no slouch. How you feel around some made cats, really on chill.
Through his own connections with hip-hop artists, Clue often got his hands on exclusive records before anyone else, and that gave his tapes a huge selling advantage.
Actually, Clue took my blueprint and ran with it. See, I'm the guy who was after Ron and Watt. Had it for like 2 years straight locked down, smashed up, niggas couldn't do nothing.
Clue made his mixtapes an album. He packaged it right. He did better mass production. His shit was everywhere. And he was relentless with finding something no one else had.
Illuminati. When I first think of mixtapes, I think of Clue. That was my time. When I was coming up, Clue mixtapes was everything. Clue was like the first person that comes to mind when I think of mixtapes.
I'm born and raised in Queens, so I used to go up to like the Coliseum Mall on Jamaica Avenue, get mixtapes. There's people around my way who DJ, Irv Gotti, Ike Love, Grandmaster Vic. They always like the mixtape kings around my way. Ron G, SNS, Doo Wop, they was doing their thing. And it was just like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'ma do a mixtape, it gotta be, like I said, it gotta be presented better, it gotta look better, the sound quality gotta be better, you know what I mean, everything. You know what I mean? I was real meticulous, make sure the order's right, everything.
The first mixtape that came across my hands was probably a Clue mixtape. You know, I'm from Queens, so going to school in Queens, you gotta ride through the Avenue, and during that time when I was going to high school, that's all you ever heard. All the bootleggers were playing Clue, Clue, Clue. And Ernesto drove by in this Honda Accord. Back then, Honda Accord was like Lexus. I mean, you know, you got a Honda Accord, you doing it. Next day I seen him at a BMW. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm a DJ. I was like, you ain't no DJ, man. You selling drugs. He was like, nah, I'm not selling drugs. He was like, yo, come to my mom's house and I'm gonna show you. I was like, I bet. I ring the doorbell, his mom answers the door, you know, he's downstairs. I go downstairs and it's a whole studio. I mean, records, mixtapes, dubbing machines, turntables, DAT machines, you name it, it's there. He had everything there. That's how I realized who Clue was. And from that point on, I was like, yo, this is what I want to do.
Coming up under DJ Clue, DJ Envy followed the same blueprint. But as the appeal of traditional mixtapes was starting to die down, Envy used his personality to cross over into radio.
I lived next door to DJ Envy, and 2 blocks down was DJ Clue. So they were near me. So the fact that I was influenced by seeing, like, I used to see DJ Clue like drive around in, you know, the old BMW 320i's. Clue and DJ Envy kind of like made it professional for me because they were stealing exclusives from like all the artists at the time.
Clue would be stealing our songs. Nah, but it's all love. They would get our songs and you know, it would be on the mixtapes, and then people, that's how people would hear a lot of our music.
I mean, he was like, he was going like so far to get shit. I believe he would walk in offices, see a name on it, and just snatch it. I believe he was that far. Like I don't know how he was getting the records he was getting.
People used to think I used to steal the songs, but that's not really the truth. You know what I mean? I never used to steal the songs. I mean, sometimes songs would fall in my lap.
What made us different from every other DJ was we started exclusives. Like, there's a lot of DJs out there that do mixtapes, and then, you know, Ron G was the blend king, the youngest in charge. Ron G, SNS was doing blends. You know, Craig G was doing blends. You know, Doo Wop was doing blends. But then me and Clue just started with straight exclusives.
Let me talk to the rap suckers about how trash y'all sound. The gap for around, so if you're acting, take the Black Hawk down. It's not a movie, squad's connected. Think your minute's all that. When we got Sammy the snitch and told Ben to fall back.
My mixtape hustle was so impeccable, even thinking back about it on this day, because there were no recycled verses. So whatever you gave, the exclusive was the big deal. So you had to give Clue an exclusive. You had to give Envy.
Getting all the exclusives, man, it was more so like, a lot to do with relationships, people I knew, who just started working in the music industry.
But at times, the exclusives started major rap wars, some that will never die.
Dead or Alive. And that was the first time anybody ever heard Tupac hit him up.
That's why I fucked your bitch. First off, fuck your bitch in the clique you claim. West side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be.
That record went crazy. I mean, it was one of those records I had to leave for. Let me get out of New York for a week or so. Shout Money XL gave that to me. He just got back from LA and he go, I got this new record, it's Pop. I heard that, I said, this is gonna sell a zillion mixtapes.
Who shot ya? Separate the weak from the opsa. Leap hard to creep them Brooklyn streets. It's all, nigga. Fuck all that.
Just the Clue mixtape where he had the Biggie on there, and it really was like, by the way, that was like the biggest shit he could have ever dropped. Like, seriously, like dropping something from Big and it wasn't supposed to be out, and it was like a real beef. Like Big and Puff wanted to really kill him. You know what I mean? Like, nah, that's real. And then for them to later on become friends, but the stake that made and the revolutionized hip hop on something, this nigga has some shit nobody had.
Marketing genius is what you would call it. All of this put Clue in a different stratosphere. His mixtapes outsold the competition.
I think the one that started selling the most, like, like at first, like, bro, I got like a buzz off of when I had the Meth and Man remix. All I Need remix, I had that on there.
Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world, believe me.
And that time I was going to New York Tech in downtown Brooklyn, and I went to the little mall over there, and I put like 50 mixtapes in there, and I came back and like they called me in like 3 hours, like, yo, we don't have no more mixtapes. You know what I mean? And I was like, what? Like it was unprecedented, it was unheard of. So, you know what I mean? And from there, they sold a lot more mixtapes that day and the days after. And then he said, you know what? Yo, I have a store in the Bronx. Why don't you bring, I need you to bring some to my store in the Bronx. And then he was like, oh, we have a store in Queens. And then so on and so forth. And it was like a chain reaction. And then, you know what I mean? From there, I was like, yo, you know what? I need to go through the boroughs. Instead of being just Queens, Brooklyn, I need to go to Harlem and this place, that place. And then from there on, people started calling me to send them out of state and overseas and all that stuff. So
if you ever made it to a Clue tape, you were like rap royalty if you could get on a Clue tape, and I became a mainstay, a pretty mainstay on the Clue mixtapes. I'm forever in debt to him as well. DJ Clue played too huge a part in my career for me to ever have anything negative to say about him, even if I wanted to. I couldn't do it.
I mean, Clue at one time was so big, I mean, everybody waited for the next Clue tape. And when it dropped, it was kind of like liquid crack.
Even when I moved from Philly to Atlanta, Clue was just as big as he was in Philly, in Atlanta. And you know what I mean? There were kids from all over the country, and then everybody had the new Clue tape.
He's the only guy that I knew that took raw hip hop and commercial and put it together. Like, he did blends, he did double-sided tapes, but he would have Noriega rap on one song, second would be Jay-Z, third would be Tragedy Gaddafi, and then he'll jump into 702, you know what I'm saying, and then jump back to DMX, then jump to Jadakiss, and then help Ransom. Yeah, Springtime Stick Up, Illuminati, The Question Mark Man, they was classic.
Clue was the first one to start CDs. He was the first one to break, and I think that's a big push, because back then no one was doing CDs. Clue did CDs. For people to stop messing with tapes to go to CD, it's about for a whole generation to stop messing with tapes to have CDs in the car. That was a big thing. So I give Clue a lot of credit for that.
I did hear that a lot of DJs at that time were getting $7, $8, $9, $10 per mixtape, because at that time they were selling mixtapes for $15, CDs for $17. So a lot of DJs, if you were smart, were getting $7, $8 per CD, and if you're selling $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I'm sure there was a lot of DJs making a lot of money. first series yet. You know, most mixtapes came out once every 4 to 6 weeks.
After innovating and changing the course of the mixtape game, the only thing left to do was sign to a major label and legitimize the business.
Well, I was always talking about doing an album, and I shopped around the idea a little bit, and then Irv Gotti came to me one day like, "Yo, man, I want to introduce you to Jay-Z and talk about, you know what I'm saying, break some records and possibly do an album." So when the idea came about, we met. We was talking about doing it, and then it didn't happen for a while. And then Steve Stout, who was over at Sony at the time, he wanted to do an album. Out of courtesy, I called Rockefeller, like kind of like a little bidding war, you know what I mean? And then I ended up signing on Rockefeller.
Slick Rick Chains, ill nigga.
This album was set up the same way he brought you them tapes. It wasn't done no way different. All the records blend. All you heard was and up, and they dropped. You know, that's mixing.
Who went platinum first before everybody, so that made all the corporations and labels wake up like, oh, this is some shit we need to pop off here. And I'm glad that he did that. I don't think there wouldn't be any Khaled's or anybody else doing that shit. All these other people coming out with albums.
Clue's getting platinum records. You know, I know we couldn't wait to be on the Clue. That's how powerful the brand was at that time.
I paid a lot of attention to it, like a real eye-opener for me. And it was like, you know, you can be more than just being a DJ. Like you can make tracks, you can own businesses.
Not only sold, but when it sold 1 million records. Clue did it twice. Sold 1 million records twice. Clue put out 3 albums, 2 platinum, 1 gold. It's amazing. Clue's the first one to transfer tapes to CDs. The first DJ to produce an artist, Fabulous. Fabulous sold millions of records. The first person to sell millions of records on his own. And not only on his own, produce his own records. Can't name one DJ out there that's done that.
I just let my work and let the people judge for themselves, you know what I mean? Men lie, women lie, the numbers don't. They speak for themselves.
While the business of mixtapes spread beyond the tri-state area, DJ Drama dominated the hustle down south.
Gangsta, Brazil, Gangsta Grills, all up in your grill, nigga.
Drama and the affiliates got the ATL popping with their series, Gangsta Grill.
This is a dedication. Rest in peace. So now I'm burying the burner in the bomber. I carry the concerns of my mama. I'm married to the money and the power.
When coming down to Clark, when I got cool with Drama, his hustle was so crazy because I didn't even know if I wanted to be a DJ. We got up at Clark and started DJing together, and he was like, "This is what I'm gonna do when I get out of school." I still was thinking I might try to get a job or something. He took it so seriously, it kind of motivated me. The way we met Don Cannon, another producer DJ that made beats.
I actually met Drama since my freshman year of school. So I finally gave him some beats, and he went home and he listened to them. He was like, they was crazy. Like, you know, he came back and ran into me on campus like, "Yo, I wanna fuck with you, man. You got some shit." You know, I mean, they kept listening to the beats. That's how I got my way in. You know, him and Six were roommates.
Just ironic that we all was from Philly. It kind of made us end up becoming friends because it was a connection musically.
Myself, Sense, and Cannon started the affiliate. We had all known each other from school already and been rocking together, but we made an official term organization to it. And it was really around the time when I was really coming into my own, and the name Drama and Gangsta Grill started ringing bells.
Like when you hear a record spin back and then Gangsta Grizzles, and then it starts again, you're like, oh shit.
Both sides, both stories, both sides. Cocaine folk and we ride from the north part of town to the south part of town.
You know, being from Philadelphia, how we touch the masses in Atlanta. Atlanta is kind of a melting pot. There's people from everywhere. So I kind of felt like, what could we do? And Drama came up with the idea, like, I'm gonna do Gangsta Grills, and it's gonna be a southern version of what we already doing. And that one took off, and that's when we know it was, it was real.
When Drama did the Gangsta Grills tape, and he got Little John to actually do that gang, but he actually hosted it, and it was really, that's where he got the whole Gangsta Grills drop from, because he hosted the tape.
Gangsta Grills made so much noise that major networks like MTV started to take notice.
Mixtape Monday was it started off as a segment that we did for MTV News on there when we had that 15 to the hour. So You know, it was just such an explosive era. We decided to document it and highlight some of the best tapes every Monday at the show. So we on the bus, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, Shaheem, what's up, man? I love Mixtape Monday. My name is DJ Drama. I never seen Drama before in my life." And I was like, "Oh shit, yo, I love what you doing with the Gangsta Grill series, man."
Hey, yo, what up? Mixtape Monday, that's right, I'm back. AMG affiliates all day, every day. But you know, when I do a mixtape, I never really do it by myself, you know what I mean? I always gotta have a homie by my side. So, who better than to get to the king of the streets right now?
Yeah, it's Gucci Man LaFleur, man. Gucci Tarantino, man. You know what's going on, man. Pulp Fiction, man. In the 6, man. Checking everybody curly ability, man.
So the labels was like, "Yeah, get my artist hot in the street, but don't sell it." So he like, "Man, fuck that, man. What am I getting out of it? Just getting your artist hot for no reason?" I guess that's how he took it. So he's like, "All right, I'll go do the work and do the groundwork and go put the shit in and go get them hot, but I gotta make my profit as well." I guess that's why he was selling them motherfuckers. I know he sold my Gangsta Grills. My shit was on iTunes. I'm like, who the fuck put this on iTunes? DJ Drama. DJ Drama, but get your boy.
The Gangsta Grill series took the music industry by storm. One thing about going mainstream, everybody notices, including the Fed.
The day basically started, I had just done an interview for the New York Times magazine. I got to the studio in the afternoon. I remember we had some new interns that day. We were having an album conversation, and I got a phone call. We were all in there. It was me, Cannon, Sense.
That day felt weird, and the funny thing is we actually got tipped off, you know?
I got a phone call from my homie, and he said, "Yo, I just got a word that they about to send some guys over there." And I was like, "Over here? Nah, not over here." I'm thinking maybe a studio in the neighborhood or something, but not coming to mind. So I was like, "Yo, I just got this phone call." I told him, and they was like, "Word? That's weird, huh? Whatever." So then I got another phone call from somebody else that said the same thing almost. I was like, okay, I'm thinking of some type of mix-up, something. So I'm going outside, I'm about to move my car. I hear the sirens and everything. Just as I go outside, like 3 black Tahoes pull up on the corner. They jump out, I mean deep, M16s, freeze, get on the ground, lay down. So I'm face down with a gun pointed to my head. Don is too. I guess they went right in to storm the building.
I kind of felt like we were being arrested for nothing.
I was in the studio with Drum and Cannon. They just ain't arrested me.
They asked me for my ID. I heard the guy say my name, and they said, "Yeah, we got one of the perps." And I'm thinking to myself, huh? Like, hold up. So then I realized they did come for me. They showed me the paperwork, and they said, "Tyree Simmons, you're under arrest for bootlegging and racketeering." Take me in. From there, I'm in the car on my way to the county. Go down the studio. They went in, they started asking everybody where the guns and the drugs were. Went all in the walls. Oh yeah, they went heavy. No reason for expecting that or knowing that outside of just already what they would think or believe on their own. No guns, no drugs, no nothing was found, just mixtapes. So they locked me up under the RICO law, which they do for organized crime. They froze bank accounts, they seized cars. They said they took 80,000 CDs from the office. I don't think it was 80. Me, myself, I think it was probably around 20 or something.
A couple of local DJs are free on bond after being arraigned on counterfeit charges. Donald Cannon, known as DJ Cannon, and Tyree Simmons, known as DJ Drama, are accused of bootlegging thousands of CDs for sale on the internet. Fulton County SWAT team and officers from Clayton County raided DJ Drama's Gangsta Grill's recording studio last night. Among the items seized, 50,000 counterfeit CDs, recording equipment, computers, cars, cash, and bank statements.
It's just we did it so big on a scale that they actually thought it was bootlegging albums. It really wasn't. We were just actually helping these artists break. It's really cloudy situation because I think it was that turning point what helped us say it's time for y'all to move into a building and really do this the right way.
As an attorney, I know how strict contracts are. I know how strict the legalities are and how the record companies own every aspect of recorded material once you sign that contract.
So basically, the law that they got me on was called the True Name Law. They said that I didn't have an address on the back of the CDs of where they were coming from. So that was what was quote unquote illegal in that situation. And I'm sure the word gangster didn't help. I guess that's how the story went.
Doing too good, too fast. When people saw it, they was like, there's something other than that in that studio. And there was nothing, it was just music.
I felt bad for Drama because he really blew up a lot of those South dudes. And I felt like threw dirt in his face with that shit. Some of the artists that he really blew up didn't even stand up for him publicly. It's fucked up.
You know, the raid to me was the end of an era of the last big superstar DJ mixtapes.
The affiliates, me, Drama, Cannon, I feel like we have contributed a grassroots key way of marketing on the street level, a creative input that was ahead of the curve.
New York City, you are now rocking with 50 Cent. Are you ready?
A few years before the Drama raid, which put mixtapes on pause, rappers were revolutionizing the way that they built their buzz in the street. Enter 50 Cent in the future of the game.
He went from people, whoever that may be, trying to dead him, music-wise, real life-wise, like everything, like literally put him to an end, and he, almost like a movie, like he reconstructed himself, his frustration and anger and talent on this thing called a mixtape to show to the world, I am fucking, like, I'm dope, I'm hot, I'm the shit, and I'm unstoppable.
Coming up, I ain't had much, I wanted a lot. I had paper for a hoopty, but I wanted to drop.
First DJ got stabbed, and then at that Ja Rule thing in the studio, he's the one that really got hurt. He got stabbed in his stomach. I don't remember his name, but he left town and went south. Then 50 got shot up, and then after 50 got shot up, he didn't trust nobody, so Sean Money, who was the manager, they were like, yo, make who get the DJ. You know, there's no fucking testing DJs and interviews. He's the DJ. They gave me a bulletproof vest, and they told me, like, we have 300 shows and we're out. And I didn't have to know how to DJ because at that time I was DJing Juvenile for Cash Money. That's when Juvenile was crazy with the 12-year-old Lil Wayne, and Young Buck was over there, and with them getting exclusives. Juvenile's uncle showed me how to use this thing called a replay machine. I was like, yo, I'll press the gunshots, you wiggle, press the gunshots again, you wiggle again. And we did 300 shows with the one replay machine.
The song that blew 50 up, it was a song called, he remixed that Raphael Sadiq song. You should be here with me. You should come and make me rich.
Bitch, you should be here. Bright and early in the morning, come up short with my money, and for sure I'll kick your ass, bitch.
That song was on a Who Kid tape, and my song was the last song on that tape. And I had a song called Bust Your Guns on it with True Life. And when I heard 50 Cent's song and he played it first, I was like, yo, this kid is out of here. I knew it from that song.
First mixtape, 50 Cent's The Future. I mean, yo, we did that in the basement of Sean Money XL. I went there and did my drops. I actually didn't put that together. I just went and did my drops and I gave him my effects because 50 didn't want me to leave with the music because I told you I was in a burglar game, so he thought I was gonna leak shit, whatever. And then I just gave him my info on that. And then I started doing them after 50 Cent's The Future. But that's where I started it all. We did 300 shows from 50 Cent's The Future. Everybody knew word for word.
I'm from the hood where the dropouts is banging for the feeling, for houses with TVs hanging from the ceiling.
50 Cent is the future. Woo! I mean, that right there shifted where 50 Cent was an outcast. 50 Cent was a liability to the labels. And he put out a mixtape that was hotter than these releases and had a bidding war. From the most undesired to a bidding war. Amazing, amazing.
He went gold with 50 Cent in the future. He literally sold 500,000 of them.
Definitely something that was revolutionary because nobody ever thought about doing it like that. If I ain't got the deal, you gonna hear me regardless. And now I'm gonna make the companies come to me.
I was before 50. But 50, you know, he blew up when he hit the scene. So he would get the credit. The person that blows up doing it is the person that gets the credit.
Before 50, rapping on a mixtape, freestyling, was 16 bars on somebody's beat with somebody just spitting. Bars. It was just bars. That was it. After that, everybody had a mixtape. You know, and nobody cared about the demo. And even labels, like, they watched what 50 did, and it came to the point with, okay, what can you show? Why are you bringing me a demo tape? Where's your fans? Where's your movements? At this point, you better bring me a mixtape that you can go to a show and they already know. to get put on. 50 Cent and the mixtape killed the demo tape.
You know, I learned from Dipset and 50 Cent.
Dip took other people's songs, recreated it, and sometimes even made it better. That became a style after that.
Before, like in the 90s, you'd have to literally wait for Snoop Dogg, Nas, and NW. You had to wait like 6-7 months until the album come out. Nothing going on. So every time when Fifth does a mixtape, and the reason he used to steal people's songs is he was hearing what other people were doing and what vibe is everybody on. So like collectively molds him into his next album because he's been doing everybody's shit over.
Back then he was like really on edge because obviously, you know, the shooting happened and stuff like that. So like we would like speak through, you know, various different people and stuff like that. And I had just did my joint venture. Tom Mottola sat me down, gave me a situation. I just did a joint venture. And I was checking out, you know, a couple of the mixtapes they was doing. One day we was driving to Connecticut and we was listening to the CD. I'm like, man, we should sign him.
Irv Gotti and them did not want 50 to get signed in any of the labels here.
I reached out to him and we had the Secret Service meeting. Like, he just popped up like Houdini out of nowhere, right there in Midtown Manhattan, and we sat down and talked about it for a little while, shot him on the idea. He was thinking about it. I guess maybe me playing his records got him a little too hot because Dr. Dre and Eminem reached out to him.
When the mixtape got to Eminem, and he was like, yo, I'm signing this kid. So Eminem had to coerce Dr. Dre to get involved. But Dr. Dre, he was paid already. He didn't want to deal with the gangster shit.
And Sean Money called like, yo, we getting ready to go to LA, meet with Dr. Dre and Eminem, see what they're talking about. I was like, man, I was saying to myself, it's over.
Got signed, it was over. We did a tour from that mixtape. From 300 shows, we did 300 shows from 50 Cent's The Future. Everybody knew word for word. And plus, remember, I did PIMP remix with Snoop. We had Realest Niggas with Pac and Biggie. So I had illegal records out there. Then I had Sean Paul in there. You know, I just had him doing songs with all kinds of people, which controlled the radio. But then he had In the Club, and it was a wrap.
Record companies realized how integral it was to get their artists on the street. So you had the A&Rs and the producers like, yo, you gotta feed the streets with this.
With the artists feeding the streets on their own, the industry began to question the role of the A&R.
We always been A&Rs. DJ's always been A&Rs. We are the A&Rs. We just don't get paid for it. We get paid in our own right, but we A&Rs. But like I give an example. Back in the days, J. Rule Damage, I made a record called Come Clean. Right? People, that's one of the records that identify everybody with J. Rule Damage. Guess who broke that? Me. Off of my mixtape. No one even knew what the record was. It was called, I called it the Water Drop. But I didn't know what the record was. I had got the record. And I got it from Ron G. I'm gonna be honest with you, he had it, and he didn't even play it. I played it. You know what I'm saying? So, we've been A&Rs. We broke a lot of artists. A&Rs now, they get paid, don't do their job. Some of them. Like my man Hip Hop's a real A&R. Liddy S, a real A&R. KP Prather, the real A&R. A&R's are the person that you would like say, okay, I'm gonna wait till this guy get hot, then I'm gonna sign him. That's not A&Ring. Watch the guy come up and just come up and judge him for the music. Not just because, oh, he's hot in this city, I'm gonna go sign him. There's a lot of guys that's just as dope as him. Watch the surroundings. They, you know, that's A&Rs. They suck to me. Some of them do. The ones I named are the ones that I feel. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, if you look at the fact that S was breaking Mace, Cam, L, Gruff. If you look at that simple thing, Herb McGruff got a record deal because he was good. Big L, because he was super nice. Mace, because he was good. Cam got a deal because he was good. Blood would have got a deal, but he passed. That's 4 guys who got a record deal because they were nice. That's S being able to see what's nice. That's doing A&R. I mean, think about it. The Locks were murdering mixtapes. Ta-da! Think about it. The first time people really heard DMX was Get At Me, Dog. And that was on a mixtape. Yeah, DMX. The same DMX who had a record deal years before who nobody was paying attention to. He does Get At Me Dog, it's on a mixtape. Everybody goes nuts. I don't remember what tape it was. I think it might have been a Clue tape, but it was so crazy.
The role of the A&R still exists, but somebody like a 50 Cent could go in the studio and knock out 8, 10, 12, 15 songs in a week, and guess what? He put a brand new album on the street without an A&R even knowing what's going on. I just think the artists are being in a lot more control of what's going on, because this music business is so crazy. They'll pick this single, which doesn't work, but 50 will drop this song, which will work.
Artists and labels, they need A&Rs, good A&Rs, real A&Rs, for what they bring to the table. If they could bring some good stuff to the table. They need an A&R with an amazing ear. They need an A&R who's ahead of the game, who can pick out an artist today that's going to be hot 3 years from now.
If it wasn't a mixtape, I don't think 50 would have been huge, because it started the map for everybody. Whether you're Lil Wayne, T.I., I don't care who you are, everybody copied our formula with these mixtapes. He made them records. He went to the studio and made new records, like hooks and everything. I'm not talking about like getting a beat and you're rhyming and then it's a freestyle. Like, he redid the shit. It came to a point where artists were mad because we would get more spins on radio than their original records.
Once again, you got a mixtape that's out for free digitally, where every song is charting on the Billboard charts. It's never been done before.
All right, I made it to where a DJ could be noticed now, take care of their families, and start a business. It made the DJ business a real business that showed that you can make money. He took it to where the artist that's known, that lives in Portland, Oregon, that you're never going to see, that's never going to get a record deal, he'll be able to put a mixtape out and you'll be able to hear him at some point.
50 Cent dominated the mixtape game, and nobody can take that away from him, because everybody's trying to do that at this point right now. And he started at 2001, 2, 3.
After 50 blew up, all of the artists took notes. The market created a demand for other streams of revenue that connected to the music.
In the early 2000s, you started to see artists take control of the mixtape scene. Dipset also really hit the streets directly and creating that buzz that they would eventually turn into a deal.
I started out as Funkmaster Flex intern, then I became the assistant of the Funkmaster Flex show. I then made the transition to working over for Dipset. This is when they were big on the mixtape market, like those volumes. And people in Nebraska, Oklahoma, and all these other places wanted it. So helping them create, what I would call like a merchandise website, where besides just finding out about their tours, you're buying $15 mixtapes. And Duke the God, the A&R at the time, who was in charge of running all this, was making like $40K a month. It was a fun time for me. So it was like early on and helping people like figure out their digital footprint.
I think Dipset definitely was they like an underground phenomenon. They weren't ever mainstream, even though because they were underground, people sort of accepted them. But musically, you can look at the charts and see that they never quite went all the way mainstream, even though they were an influential group. And I think that the mixtapes kept them authentic.
There's a few of us that developed fan bases solely off of mixtapes.
With the mixtape hustle being a lucrative revenue stream for artists, the game was flooded. Now every artist and DJ wanted a piece of the action, which led to quantity over quality. Add streaming services to the mix, and a lot of DJs got pushed to the side.
There's always going to be an oversaturation of everything. There's 1 million, 10 million artists, 3, 5 million producers, 7 million singers. So that's never going to stop. Is there an abundance of mixtapes? Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not all good and they're not all what people are talking about.
Honestly, as far as mixtapes now, I don't even know if mixtapes really exist anymore. From an artist point of view, they're just albums that have not been barcoded, basically. And on the DJ side of things, we don't really hear DJs doing mixes like that anymore, because people are getting songs here and there. They have Spotify, they have Tidal, they have other streaming services, and they basically piece together their own playlist. So that's like your own mixtape. And I hate to say this, man, but people don't necessarily want to hear the scratching. They don't necessarily want to hear the back and forth. They want to curate their own listening experience.
It's interesting that I think that it almost forecasted the future of music,
because in a way it was like a sampler plate of music that was obviously blended together. And a lot of times now, like most people don't buy full albums. They just want to hear the hit songs are happening and they'll purchase those songs. So it's interesting that mixtape sort of had already been doing that for years and years and years.
When I put out my first mixtape, it was called The Come Up. It was in 2007. I had just graduated school, maybe college. I just graduated college maybe 5 months before that. We pressed up with 1,000 copies, drove to North Carolina A&T's homecoming and sold them for $1. That was the last time I will ever sell physical mixtapes. And you know, because I learned this blog called Two Dope Boys had just put my mixtape up. Now how I got there, I don't know. I didn't send it to them. Now fast forward to my next mixtape, I had it figured out. I was like, man, I'm just going, I'm cutting straight to the chase. I'm gonna go straight to the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I guess that's how I learned. Like I saw the disadvantages of the old method, and then I applied that old grassroots method to the new technology.
I mean, there's just too many options now. I mean, you have everything: SoundCloud, Beats, Apple, Spotify, Pandora. I mean, everything. So it's going to be real interesting to see what comes next and what artists can pop up out of that experience, because it's a whole different world than when, Who Kid is going to tell you what's good. It's the people now. The people really drive what's good through social media and other ways.
Good music will always find a way to your speakers, but as the digital revolution continues to transform the music industry and people lean into their own playlists, what does that mean for the DJ? There's no Rakim without Eric B. There's no Run DMC without Jam Master Jay. So how will the DJ maintain his or her place in forecasting hip-hop music?
Cream rises. I tell the kids all the time, don't send me your music links. Don't. I don't want to hear your music link. If your music is good, I'm gonna hear it. It just happens that way. I'm one of those people that still go out and look for good music. And if you're good, word will travel that you're good.
I had all these songs, and songs that we calling great and good, and we holding them back because we just want to save them for whatever big plan we got to have an album. But the truth was, nobody knew us. So why are we holding these songs back? So the moment we start putting out this free music online independently and making it consistent and good, it started getting attention. And from that point on, I knew that if I continue to be consistent and gravitate towards good music that people can actually like and learn to love, then eventually it grow into something bigger. Once I figured out that, it was a wrap.
Ever heard of Club Quarantine? The DJ has always had his or her finger on the pulse of the culture. That's why as long as they're spinning the right records, the people will follow.
Yeah, not bad for me. Good?
Yeah. All right, let's start it here.
Top 5 mixtapes of all time?
Top 5 mixtapes of all time.
Oh, here you go. Top 5 mixtapes of all time.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
52 Beats, Kid Capri.
Kid Capri, 52 Beats.
Kid Capri, 52 Beats.
Kid Capri, 52 Beats is bananas.
That's what made me fall in love with beats, and that's what made me fall in love with break beats.
Kid Capri might have the 2 best mixtapes that I've heard.
Doo-Wop Live 95.
Doo-Wop 95 Live.
The 95 Live. For the Doo-Wop, yup, that's it right there.
Clue, can't forget the Clue era.
Clue had a bunch of them. Clue had series. Show Me the Money 1, Show Me the Money 2, Show Me the Money 3.
The Clue one where he had the Biggie on there.
DJ Clue, the Scarecrow joint was dope.
It was a Clue tape that was just bomb after bomb after
Blizzard 1, Blizzard 2, Blizzard 3. Clue had a bunch of them.
The bomb after bomb after bomb. And I was just like, how? Just like, how did he do this?
During the era of the Locks and Jay-Z and DMX, and it was just a free-for-all, man. I love that era.
It was definitely the G-Unit tapes, though.
This was the one when he's on the cover holding
the 51 with the blue cover. It's like a blue cover, and you got 50 Yayo and Banks on there.
50 Cent is the future.
Woo! I gotta give it up to 50 and 50 Banks, Yayo, Who Kid, even Game and Young Buck.
The king of this, the last hip-hop revolution which was 50 Cent.
Those early G Unit tapes, they used to really flood Mixtape Monday.
Wayne's Dedication.
Dedication 2.
Sick. Oh God.
One was the warm up. 2 was like Wayne was in his zone.
I remember having that joint and even telling Jay like, yo, Jay, you have to listen to this Dedication. Like, it's crazy.
Of course. Myself. Get your swerve on.
I gotta go with the best of Clue, Part 1 and 2, the freestyles. Those got some real classic material on.
Shut down the summer for 2 months straight. I had incredible songs on it. Niggas couldn't even get to right now. You couldn't get those songs right now.
I would throw one of my joints in there.
One was the Empire Strikes Back.
Summer Jam 96.
That was the joint where Beanie Siegel got at D Block.
That's the one where King's son went at Tupac, because Tupac was shitting on New York, and he made this crazy joint, and to this day it still rings bells.
I mean, you know I'm gonna do some affiliate tapes.
It would have to be Trapper Die 1, Jeezy.
I gotta do my first Rhythm in Streets on the R&B side with Monica.
Mine, music, all of them.
But I think those are, some of my favorite mixtapes.
Please put this on. You got promoters who book guys because they're $150. So they can, now these guys don't rock parties. You know what I mean? You know how many homecomings I got killed because this guy charged $300 with equipment? You know when I was getting homecoming. So, I mean, now you got guys that are in school that do it for $300-$400 because they're in school and DJ for the school. I understand that. You're supposed to. You're supposed to rule your school. But do you want a party or you want to go home and say that's the best shit I've been to in my life? And that's where you go get a guy like me, a Capri, a Biz, or Jay Jeff. You know what I'm saying? We bring that energy to that. And I want the people to understand that that's the difference in this party game, this DJ thing. This DJ thing looks easy. But ripping parties, not making people throw their hands up in the air, I don't give you that because it's easy to do that. But making people go home sweaty, chicks taking their shoes off and putting their flip-flops on and their feet hurt and going home their hair messed up, they gotta go see the Dominicans next day to get their hair done. That's a DJ who make you go home and think about me. I want you to go home and think about me. I want you to go home saying, oh, that was a nice party I went to. No, I want you to go there. I think SMS is a motherfucking beast.